Man, oh man. It's been a sad week for me. The greatest quarterback of all time. The greatest quarterback of all time finally put them up. I thought the rumor was a false. I thought it was fake. But supposedly it was true. Tom Brady's done with the league, man. What a sad news. What a sad news. But before we start the show, I gotta give two shout outs before I do the show. First shout I want to give to Annika Monica. I hope you have a great birthday today. You're a great person. Hope you get everything you wish for. And I know you're wishing for Dallas Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, they haven't done that since 19, I don't know when. But hopefully you get it this year. Hopefully you get it next year, Donna. Happy birthday. Then let me introduce you my colleagues I got over here. We got first the older brother, Antonio Monica. How you doing over there, buddy?
What's up, baby? What's up? Peace out, Tom. Biatch.
I know you had to say that. Then we got David, who also is a big fan of Tom Brady. How you doing over there, buddy?
0-2 in Super Bowls, Tom Brady, against the Giants.
Okay. Man, before we start the show, I want to give a big congrats to my friend David over there. This week he got notarized. What's the word? Not noticed. Like he got noticed by the Autism Awareness on Instagram. If you guys watched my previous videos, I had David on the interview with the Autism Awareness with him and talking about his brother and stuff like that. And if you guys see him on his profile, he's a big spokesperson for autism. He's always talking about it. And he finally got noticed this week. This week, I believe.
Yeah.
And big congrats to you, buddy.
Congrats, baby. Congrats. Way to go.
Yeah. All right, let's first go into this. Let's go first to Cincinnati and Kansas City Chiefs game. What a game. What a game. 18 points, I believe, was lead. 18 points. 18-point lead, man. What went wrong, man? I'm confused. And Tony, tell me, what went wrong in this game, Bob?
I'm not sure if anything went necessarily wrong. I think maybe Patrick Mahomes thought he was going to a little bit better than he was in the fourth quarter. He beat himself. You know, when you're getting chased out of the pocket like that and you got the lead, stop running like a maniac, dude. Throw the ball away. Start learning from some of these vets that win year after year after year. I mean,
like Brady?
You don't have to do it all the time. You know, and his running got him the loss. I mean, even the fumble basically sealed the deal. But big props to the Bengals defense. Big props to the offensive line of Cincinnati. I mean, after the sack game, Burrows was nice back there. He didn't have to worry too much. Good comeback win. Like I said, I think Patrick Mahomes just he put too much on his own back, and unfortunately, he probably cost his team the game by not throwing the ball away a little bit.
Okay, David, what do you think went wrong over here for Kansas City, man?
Well, I think halftime adjustments. I also think Kansas City should have ran the ball a little bit in the second half. They basically just didn't change their offense at all. Listen, when you're up by 18 points, you got to let that clock run a little bit, man. Like, run the ball, waste some time off the clock. I know that's not their game, but you got to kind of change your game a little bit. And then what they did in the second half was the Bengals played a spy defense. So basically they would only rush 3 rushers, and then they would spy Mahomes, and then they would blitz off the corner of the edge. And that's how he started throwing picks, didn't recognize the defense. He had nobody to throw to because Tyreek can't beat 8 people in defense, dropping back into coverage. The one thing I did agree with was that not getting points before end of the half. Listen, this is playoff football, man. This is something where every point counts. And the Bengals played such a close game with you last time. You knew they were going to come back somewhat. And it came back against them in Week 17. So I personally think the Chiefs kind of beat themselves rather than the Bengals winning the game. But also, great job to the Bengals coaching staff for that halftime adjustment. I mean, they did every halftime adjustment. Burrow did everything in his power to escape pressure. I mean, the one play broke like 3 tackles and threw a dart. So, like I said, it's halftime adjustments. And personally, I never would think in a million years the Chiefs would blow an 18-point lead going into the second half. So,
Yeah. Especially at home, too. They were at home. They were not away. They were at their own home. And Elway had his loud stadium. The way that
Yep.
stadium is shaped and everything like that. I don't know what happened here. Mahomes, you had all the weapons. You have Tyreek Hill. You got Travis Kelce, two of the best offensive players in the league. And you lose an 18-point lead. Man, hopefully y'all learn from your mistakes. But props to the Bengals, man. After that sack game last week, I didn't believe they had 8 sacks against the Tennessee Titans. And this week they didn't have that many sacks. And then you had a down score and you came back. What a game. But like David said, they should have went for points before the end of the half because that game would have went in overtime. They would have more big point lead and that would have been harder for Bengals to come back. But them doing what they did cost them the game at the end of the day. So let's see what happens, man, for them in the offseason. Hopefully they realize their mistakes. Now let's go fly to L.A., man. L.A. Rams. I don't know, man. This game, I thought I actually picked the Niners to win it. But then Jimmy G broke my hope. And he decided it was a good idea not to throw the ball out of the pocket instead of throw a pick. You guys think Jimmy G's time is over in the Niners?
I think if San Fran moves on, they're idiots. I think Jimmy G has all the traits to be a good quarterback, and I'm not going to blame that. I never, and the NFL has to create a stat. I never blame a tipped ball on the quarterback. I was always taught in high school, if you can touch the ball, it's yours. So that pass, even though probably he shouldn't have made it, his wide receiver had both hands on it and tipped it up. I mean, I don't think they would have gotten a first down anyway, but still, to blame the interception on him when you have both hands on the ball, I'm not gonna put that blame. That's not something I believe. That's not something I was taught when I played. You got both hands on the ball, you keep it. But it was an exciting game. Not as exciting as KC and Buffalo, but it was an exciting game. And big props to LA winning the way they did. Their defense showed up, and they're going to be playing in front of their home crowd in the Super Bowl. So that's pretty crazy. So big up to the Rams.
David, what do you think, man? You think it's time? Jimmy G's time is over? San Fran?
To be honest with you, and first in terms of the game, I think the 49ers lost not due to Jimmy G, but due to bad coaching at the last drive. You have one of the most powerful weapons in Deebo Samuel. You don't give him the rock. You don't do whatever it takes to put the ball in his hand. He's one of the most versatile. He can do everything for you. He runs, he catches, he does everything for you. You have to do whatever it takes to get the ball in his hand. They didn't do that once in that final drive. And Jimmy, yeah, I get why he threw the ball. If he would have got sacked, it would have been 4th and like 25, I think, or more than that, since they already backed up on 3rd down. But I think it's more of a coaching error because Deebo is just such a weapon. You got to get the ball in his hands somehow, especially with Jimmy G. Now, in terms of Jimmy G, I personally don't think Trey Lance is ready to start yet. I think he needs another year behind Jimmy G, learn the offense a little more, get some more experience. So I don't think they should move on from Jimmy G just for that reason too. And also, he's not like one of these quarterbacks that's going to be a Hall of Famer or whatever. He's a game manager, and there's nothing wrong with being a game manager. Run the rock, and we need a 3rd down pass. Let him pass the ball. I just think that the reason why they did so well towards the end of the year, they found their identity. Their identity was run first, and then obviously give Deebo Samuel the ball. That's their identity on offense. They kind of broke away from that their last drive, and that's why I think they lost the game. And I don't think they should move on to Jimmy G because I don't think Trey Lance is ready.
Okay. Man, I really don't know how I feel with this, man. I agree with Trey Lance not being ready, but Jimmy G, I don't think he's it, man. If you look at that Dallas game, he's the one that kept Dallas in that game, man. That defense was stomping, but Jimmy G was helping out that Dallas defense in that game.
They were saying Jimmy G should actually go to the Buccaneers.
Oh my, the Buccaneers, that would be I don't know, man. I feel bad for the Bucs. They actually had a dynasty going, and that shit went down the hill. But Niners, you got a big decision to make, man. Jimmy G or Trey Lance. Let's see what y'all do. Let's see what happens. Now, let's come back home, guys. Let's come back home to New York. The Giants made a coaching change again, but every 2 years it's like a new coach, new GM. I mean, I don't know what's happening over there in New York. You got hired, what's his name? Brian DeBoli from I believe, Buffalo. He came in from Buffalo. Tony, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about him? And the Saquon Barkley rumor that he might be traded for Watson.
So, I read today, before we get into the coaching, I think this is an absolute joke if the Giants move on it. That there's a possible trade on the line already, that they might get rid of Barkley and Bradbury on their last year of their contract. Our Chicago pick this year and our first round next year for Deshaun Watson. I think that's way, way too much. I have no idea what shape Deshaun is going to be in, being 1 year removed. I mean, take a look at Le'Veon Bell when he came to the Jets. I mean, he was 1 year removed, and he was not a fraction of the player he was when he came back. So that I think would be a stupid move. That personally, the coach, man, he has all the credentials. I mean, there's 5 Super Bowls under his belt. There's a national championship under his belt. He has all the credentials to be a head coach. Was he what I wanted? No. Brian Flores is what I wanted. He was the big name. But I mean, just like Joe Judge, man, this guy says all the right things. Let's see. I mean, what else am I going to do at this point? They're not going to let him go already. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. David, how you feel over there, buddy? I know you're another big Giants fan. I know you've been quiet for the last 6 years, 7 years since that Packers blow out of your head. How you feeling over there?
I love the hire. We need an offensive-minded coach just to help develop Jones, and I think Jones needs a little help too. I wouldn't have mind Flores too, because he's from Brooklyn, number one. He's a homegrown person. He definitely toughs up the team too a little bit, but with Judge was a tough guy too, and it didn't pan out either. So in terms of that, I love the hire, because look what he did since he came to the Bills. He had like one of the top offenses. I think it was he was top 3 in every offense except rushing, I think, with Josh Allen. He was like top 3 in every category. You gotta love that. We need Jones to start, obviously see what we have, and this is the best person to do it. He's in early, help him develop a little bit. I also think the next biggest hire is our offensive coordinator, to help develop Jones too, and help just bring this offense. We have so many weapons. Let's do something with it. Let's get offensive linemen in the draft. Trade. I would rather them trade for an offensive lineman and trade for Watson, like Tony was saying. I would rather them trade for a big name offensive lineman. So that's just my thing. Is the draft is going to determine how next year is going to go. We need offensive line help. We need pressure on the outside. We need an inside linebacker. If we traded Saquon, let's just say, for somebody that's like an all-pro offensive lineman, I will not hate that trade. I will not mind that trade at all. But if it's not, there's no point in it. Like, unless we're getting your boy from the Seahawks, what's his name? The inside linebacker?
Bobby Wagner. Yeah, keep on dreaming. I get him.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just giving you a scenario, because we needed a middle linebacker with Martinez. So those situations I wouldn't mind, but I think it's a great hire. I like it.
Okay. Let's see, Giants, man. Hopefully this is not a repeating cycle with you guys, because it looks like every 2 years, new coach, new GM. Every 2 years, man. The Bengals rebuild quicker than y'all. All right, guys, let's go over to Oakland, man. I was like, Las Vegas. Las Vegas Raiders hired a coach, Josh McDaniels. I didn't see that coming at all, because I thought Josh McDaniels would stay until Bill Belichick retires. Josh McDaniels gets the job in the Raiders now. Raiders players are not that happy, rumors has it. Do you guys think this is a smart hire by the Raiders if the players are not happy with this hire?
Yeah, I don't think it's smart at all. The interim coach who was there did a great job with all the shit that happened in Oakland. I mean, come on, man. The guy came in and took over for John Gruden and still brought the team to the playoffs. I mean, it wasn't pretty by any means, but he did what he had to do to get his team to the playoffs. I think he did a good job, and I think they should have gave him at least 2 years to see what he could do. I think that's just a shame to drop the guy, from the head coach position. It just, it's a nasty pit in my stomach, and you know what? It's Oakland. They've always kind of been a little weird anyway. So
Las Vegas now. Las Vegas.
Oakland, Las Vegas, the Raiders.
How you feel over there, David? Over there with all these rumors and stuff like that.
3 things. Don't forget, Josh McDaniel had a head coaching job, but he turned it down last second. Very unprofessional what he did. That's number 1. That's probably why the players aren't happy also, is for that reason. 2, exactly what Tony said. The interim head coach had to deal with all the drama going on between Ruggs, Gruden. Also, now with Arnett, the cornerback for the Raiders that's going on now. He's in I think it was Arnett. Well, whoever it is, the cornerback on the Raiders. He's in some deep shit now with the law, even worse than before. So I think they should have kept him for that reason. Through all the turmoil, he still went to the playoffs. I mean, that's pretty miraculous. And 3, I thought it was always Harborough that was supposed to go to Vegas. Did something happen where Harborough didn't want to go? Or did the owner step in?
He's getting flown into Minnesota too right now.
Yeah, I saw breaking news before that they're gonna announce him as head coach for the Vikings. But everybody said all along he was going to Vegas. So what happened with that? Did something happen? Does Harborough want too much control? Like, nobody really knows what happened. So I think the players went from, hey, let's keep our interim head coach, to, hey, we'll take Harborough, because everybody on the 49ers love Harborough. There was not one bad person to say anything bad. To now Josh McDaniel, who turned down a head coaching job, and you don't know if you could trust him or not. So I get why the players, aren't happy with that decision. And also what you said, I thought he was going to take over from Belichick. So
100%, especially after that bullcrap movie he did it with the Colts. He did literally last minute. Last minute, he told him, I'm not coming. That's when they had to bring Frank Wright. And I remember I thought he was never going to get a head coaching job after that again. Because when you pull a bullcrap stunt like that, because you literally, a team is saying, we're going to hire you. They forget about everyone else on the market. And then he said, F you, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to stay home.
Well, just remember, one of the greatest coaches did the same exact thing to the Jets.
Yep, Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick did the same exact thing to the Jets.
And look at him now, so.
Well, I don't know, man. I feel like the Raiders should have went with that coach, Rich Blassie, I think his last name is.
Yeah.
This man went through hell. He had a hell team. He lost the star wide receiver, that cornerback. He got in trouble early. Now he got in trouble again. All the bullcrap. David Carr, man. I don't know how that guy was, because that props to him, man. He took that team to the playoffs, because that team literally went through hell. Hell's like what they went through. Players get in trouble back to back, and then you don't give him the job. Even the players vouch for him. The players wanted to be the coach. Then you bring in a guy that the players didn't want. That's a totally bad environment. Guys are gonna end up wanting to get traded. They wouldn't want to play for a coach like that, because your players want to play for somebody they wanted. All the players wanted him, Rich. Nobody wanted Josh McDaniels. Well, I'm surprised he even took this coaching job, because I always thought he was gonna take Bill Belichick's job. But boy, was I wrong.
I mean, shit. New England or Las Vegas? I'm going to Vegas.
No, I was saying for New England. What do you mean, bro? New England, 100% New England. With all the drama that's going to Vegas, I would never be going to Vegas. That team is a whole drama hole. Ever since they've been there, bro. I will not be going to Vegas. Nope. But while we're still in the coaching, man, we have today a book out that Brian Flores, great coach, still surprised he doesn't have a job yet. He hasn't had a deal. He's filing a class action lawsuit against the New York Giants, the Denver Broncos, and the Dolphins, and claiming they had racial discrimination in the league's hiring process for the coaches and the executives. How do you guys feel about this scandal coming out, this new thing coming out?
I'll let Tony go first.
Okay, it's not a scandal. I'll tell you why. All the teams have to do is interview you. That's all they have to do. They don't have to hire you. The color of your skin has nothing to do with it. the Giants interviewed 2 black men, as it is. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened in Miami. Something weird had to happen. That team doesn't have enough pull for the for the owners to blackball him as a coach. When you come to the Giants or you go to the Cowboys or you go to Pittsburgh, those owners can blackball you as a coach because those owners have enough pull to basically do anything they want. I mean, those 3 teams right there can own this entire country and no one can say shit about it. I don't think he has a lawsuit. I honestly think, he feels that he should have got a job right away quickly, and he's not seeing the results. Or maybe he interviews like shit. I don't know, but I don't.
It came out today the Dolphins were paying him money on purpose to lose. It came out today.
I read that. I can't imagine that to be true.
Teams do it all the time to tank. Teams do tanking all the time. What do you mean it's not possible? Tank. Look at what the Eagles did.
I didn't say it wasn't possible. I don't believe it to be true. I can't imagine they're paying their coach to lose games. He gets paid a salary, and a decent salary at that. I don't believe there's a case. I think it's just someone who's ass hurt right now, and that he doesn't have a job yet, and he's just going to try to take it out on the league.
Okay. David, how you feel about this one, buddy?
Well, I heard the whole reason why the owner wanted him to tank was because they wanted to get Tom Brady to Miami. That's the rumor why they wanted to get him to Miami. There's a things how I feel about it. I get why Flores is upset. Like, listen, imagine you getting a second interview and then all of a sudden finding out you're getting a fake interview because obviously they hired a coach or whatever. I get it, and it sucks. But they said he interviewed in Denver and John Elway was either drunk or hungover. It was one of those things when he interviewed him or whatever. I don't know how true that is either, but at the end of the day, he was a former NFL coach. A lot of people have respect for him. One coach that nobody's talking about, who I would give a chance to, is Eric Bieniemy. Why is nobody giving him a shot? There has to be. If I was a college, I would say, how much will it take for you to come to my college? He's coached the best NFL quarterback in top 3 right now, obviously with Mahomes. He has one of the best offenses in the country. He helps them draft also with the players, and he's just an offensive mastermind. Why is everybody not talking about him not getting enough interviews? I would hire him in a heartbeat. If I was an offensive struggle, or if I was the Dolphins, why are you not calling Eric Bieniemy right now? The guy has experience with the best quarterback, Mahomes. Why are you not calling him? He transformed him into a superstar. Why would you not want him to come in and say, Tua, this is what I need you to do. I'm going to make this offense around you. The Dolphins don't have the problem on defense. Their problem's on offense. Why not hire an offensive coach? So, sorry, tell you on a rant. I just don't understand why Eric Bieniemy doesn't have a head coach. But the whole Flores thing, I get why he's upset. And I don't know why Belichick texted him that too, which is kind of weird too. The whole thing just doesn't make sense in a way, but in a way, it's like, I understand why he's upset too. It's like, how would you feel wasting your time interview if somebody already has another job, So,
not to cut you off, man. I mean, here's my thought, right? So if you're going to try to sue these 3 teams, all right, Roger Goodell has already come out and backed those 3 teams saying, we're going to check into everything and make sure this doesn't happen. I mean, do you think you're going to get a coaching job after trying to sue 3 fucking teams in the NFL?
Oh, absolutely not.
He already knows that. He already knows that. He said that in his statement. He knows he's not going to get no coaching job if he loses this case. He knows what he's doing. He's not stupid, buddy.
No, even if he wins the case, I'm not hiring this fucking guy. You want to sue my team because I wouldn't hire you? No team will take this guy as a head coach if he goes through with it. No team.
I just honestly, listen, I get the whole black head coach thing. Like I just mentioned with Bieniemy, there's a couple that deserved head coaching jobs that just haven't gotten interviews and stuff like that. That's why I give such credit to Eric Bieniemy, because he's handled everything like a gentleman. He should have got a head coaching job. I mean, Tony, you'll probably agree with me too. He should have got a head coaching job 2-3 years ago.
Absolutely.
And he still hasn't.
Here's the big thing is his head coach vouching for him. So from what I understand and how the interview process works, they actually speak to the head coach of the team first before they speak to the coordinators, offensive, defensive coordinators. And they basically try to get a read on those head coaches. Yep. So, I mean, what's being said behind closed doors?
My whole
thing.
This is my whole thing. If he was losing purpose in Miami, why didn't he say that back in 2019? That would have been, dude, this is more serious than Spygate with the whole New England thing. You're throwing NFL games. That's like a bookie paying you, say, hey, listen, I need you to lose this game by 6 points or whatever it is. It's serious, man. Like no joke. Like, they got a high draft pick if this is the case, and then apparently the owner got upset whatever game they won in 2019. Like, this is more serious than what people think. I mean, this is like a bad scandal that happens. The NFL's reputation will be ruined if this is really true.
100%, 100% is going to be 100%. And let's see what happens, man, because at the end of the day, it sucks all the way around, man. It sucks for all three teams, and it sucks for Brian Flores, man. He's a great coach, phenomenal coach. Should have had a job. The Miami Dolphins were stupid for letting him go. But at the end of the day, I don't know. At the end of we don't know what's happening behind closed doors. I'm not behind the closed doors. None of us are behind closed doors. We all just hearing what the media tells us.
I mean, based on the NFL's guidelines, from what I understand on the affirmative action when it comes to the head coach, all they have to do is offer you an interview. That's all these teams have to do. So I don't know. I don't know how much of a case he has. I really don't. Like I said, as far as I know, all they have to do is offer you an interview and have you come in, whether it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 hours. I believe based on the affirmative action of the league, that's all that's needed.
I think it's more he's upset that he got another interview for the Giants when they already made an offer to the coach. That's what his
was he given a second interview?
That's what he's trying to say is that I think that's the whole thing is that he was supposed to get a second interview and then they hired the coach, and that's when the whole Belichick text happened. Like I said, nobody knows until obviously evidence, but apparently Flores has all this evidence, so I guess we'll see.
I mean, listen, based on last week's show, I told you guys it was a done deal, and it was Tuesday, and Flores didn't interview till Wednesday. I knew it was a done deal that Dayball was getting the job.
We all said that. We all said that he.
Yeah.
In terms of Giants, we needed an offensive-minded head coach. We all agreed on that.
But you know what? And if we knew that, Flores had to know going in that he had to blow them away.
Oh yeah.
Position.
But my whole thing is this:
yeah.
Flores, coach. If anybody should, it should have been the Vikings because the Vikings already have enough offensive power. They need help on defense. So them hiring Harbaugh is an offensive-minded coach. I would have hired Flores for the Vikings because they need defensive help bad.
See what happens, man.
This is getting serious matters happening. Let's see what happens, man. Talking about Deflategate, man, oh man, the man retires, man. Tom Brady is officially done, man. How you guys think Tom Brady made a small move retiring? They should have pushed for 8. Lucky number 8. 8.
You know what? He went out one of his best seasons of his career. Besides not winning the Super Bowl, passing yards. I believe he's number 1 in just about every single stat as a quarterback. David said it last week. What is there else to do? What else is there to do? Go to a third team maybe and win a Super Bowl? I don't know. But it's time for him to go. It's funny we bring up Brady because I want to kind of just switch a little bit. So last week I told you guys, I saw a little conspiracy happening. And it's crazy because I believe your cell phone listens to you. So after we got off the show last week, I see that Antonio Brown will be on HBO on the Bryant Gumbel show, giving a tell-all of what happened. So, Tom, did you retire for a reason, buddy? Is there some more bullshit that's about to come out? We'll see.
Man, you actually got a point there. Actually, I didn't see that. Yeah, this guy actually connected 2-2. What do you think about David? His whole theory over there now.
I mean, listen.
Let's not forget, though. I'm sorry. Let's not forget. Brady is a cheater. He's a cheater.
Listen, you win games to win games. I'm not one of those people that's like, hey, listen, if you got to throw dirt in somebody's face playing in front of you, got to throw dirt in front of somebody's face. I mean, listen, that's how it goes. But Brady has so much money that, like, literally, like, what else I think one of his kids or something is about to go to high school too. He has all these different business ventures. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's like, do you want to come back for one more year and maybe not even make the playoffs? Not, like, they have tons of free agents. How do you know they're definitely going to come back, all of them, too? There's just too many what ifs. And then for him, why would you want to come back? Bruce Arians isn't guaranteed to be the head coach again. I don't know, man. Like, yes, I agree the whole Antonio Brown thing's a little weird, but, like, I don't know. I thought Antonio Brown would have said from the get-go the whole Brady thing. I just think it's going to be something where the NFL is going to make more rules around injuries and stuff like that. That's what I think it's going to be. But in terms of Brady, I mean, what else does he have to do? I mean, you got a supermodel wife. You got a great family. Your parents support you whatever you do. Wouldn't you rather wake up for a business meeting and be done in an hour than go on the field and play and then more concussions, get hurt? Like, why would he be coming back next year if he doesn't want it and he gets hurt? It's like, why the hell did I come back for? He already won his Super Bowls. Like, let the guy right off into the sunset. I wish it would have been next year because I think Big Ben is his, like, tribute's not going to be as big as Brady's, obviously. So that's the only reason why I wanted Brady to come back next year. But also, if Aaron Rodgers comes back next year, I don't want them to retire at the same time either. I just wish they would have spaced it out a little bit. Big Ben this year, Brady next year, and then Aaron Rodgers 2 years after, whatever. Because I think those three deserve, a tribute.
100%, man, 100%. And it's like an end of a decade, you know what I mean? It's the end of a decade because if you look at it, I'm not going to read all the code. This is the end of an era. Brady's gone. Breeze is gone. Manning's gone. Rivers, Big Ben, and Eli. This was an era you're talking about. This is an era, different now football. And it's crazy. Like, you're basically your whole childhood. But to you guys been watching since y'all were 30. My whole childhood is all retired now. So let's see what happens now. Let's see what happens, Brady. I'm going to cry in my pillow. Been crying for the last 2 days. But now, what do you guys think the Bucs should do now with the quarterback? Because they have the weapons. And Gronk most likely going to retire, too, because he followed Brady. Do you think Bucs should go after Russell Wilson now? Or like Aaron Rodgers trying to bring one of them in?
Here's the thing. How long before Gronk says I'm not coming back? How long before some of those other players say they're not coming back? I mean, if I'm Rodgers or Wilson, I have to see how it plays out first before I just say, hey, I'm going to Tampa Bay and ruining my career.
No, you still got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin over there. What are you talking about, buddy? When he Chris?
Godwin's on a, I believe, a what contract?
Dude, a lot of them are free agents.
Yeah,
man.
That's what I'm saying. It's tough to say, hey, let's get Russell Wilson in here. Maybe these guys will stay. Let's get Aaron Rodgers in here. Maybe they'll stay. But Gronk, I guarantee in a week or so you're going to see that Gronk is not he's not coming back. He came back solely to play with Tom Brady. So I don't see him coming back.
Okay.
Listen, they have too many free agents. You drafted Kyle Trask in the second round, I think it was last year, from Florida. See what you have, man. Like, why are you trying to get rid of – that's why I laugh at all these, like, teams. They want to go out and get all these, like, veterans and stuff like that. How do you not know what you have behind? Like, he didn't even play this year. Like, if you're not going to sign these free agents anyway, why are you going to bring somebody in regardless? Let Kyle Trask, see what you have. Like, what's the point of bringing a veteran in if you're just going to go 500? Like, honestly, if it's a rebuild year, just fucking lose with whoever you have a quarterback and then get one in the draft or do a trade and then build your team back up, man. You traded all these picks for all these veterans and everything else. Like, it's okay to rebuild a year or two. You know, you just won a Super Bowl last year. Like, I'm sure Tampa Bay isn't going to be like, oh, let's fire everybody because it's a rebuild. If you can't re-sign people, people have to understand it's going to be a bad year. It's going to be a down year. Just accept it. Every team has had it, even like, you know, the greats, you know, other than Tom Brady. But every team has done it. Like, see what you have behind these superstars. That's why, like, the NFL I love about it. It's like the Victor Cruz. Did anybody anticipate Victor Cruz to be an all-star wide receiver? All of a sudden, the Giants, instead of, you know, putting veterans in front of him and everything else, he started in the preseason, and from there it just went up. You have to know what you have.
Okay. Let's see what happened, man. This season, offseason got more interesting now. Bucks need a quarterback, and Brady and Russell Wilson and Rodgers don't look like they're gonna be playing with their team next year. Stuff is getting interesting, fellas. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out today, man. Make sure you guys like this video.
Hold on.
Oh, God. Here you go with the picks. Yes, we get it. Can you do your weekly picks with the Antonio Monica? The rub it in our faces.
Well, I have to. I mean, you know, what the hell? So, championship weekend, baby. Finally, my underdog paid off. I took Cincy. I took LA. Went 2-0. Everybody else 1-1, which wasn't a bad weekend. I mean, nobody went 0 for 2, which is good. Well, Mary, I know you must have got nervous. But it was good overall. So, with Wild Card Weekend, the divisional weekend, and championship weekend, here are the standings as of today. David, you stand at 8-4. James stands at 8-4. I stand at 8-4.
Wow.
Paul's at 6-6. Umir 4-8. Super Bowl picks. If myself, James, or you, David, pick the same team, at the end of the day, we're gonna have to pick closest total score.
Okay.
To determine.
What about Wood? What we go by Coach of the Year, the MVP, like that?
I'm sorry?
You go by Coach of the Year, MVP.
Because we all don't get the MVP, then we're still top.
We got to go by the number. Total. Closest number of points.
Let's see what happens, guys. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, make sure you guys like this video, share this video, subscribe. I'll see you guys again next week.